Ladies and gentlemen, we talk a lot about trying to advocate for justice. We talk about voting. We talk about getting laws changed that will favor our children. Well, I'm going to show you guys a story that I believe shows us where our system is failing. Our justice system did not prevail in this particular situation. I'm going to tell you guys this. There's nothing worse than knowing that there was an innocent baby that lost their life, not only at the hands of anybody, but I think it makes it even worse. It's just more egregious to me if it's a parent that is involved. Hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. A Wisconsin father, biological father, has been sentenced to 2.5 years in prison after his baby daughter was left to die in a field outside of Kenosha. His name, let me see if I can get his image on the screen. Yeah, bear with me a moment. It's a beautiful little baby too, man. Let me see. One of these has their names on it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull it up. So that way y'all can differentiate who's who with this particular story. How many pictures do I have in here? Apparently I got a lot of them. Do I not have one picture with their name? There it is, right here. Okay, I want y'all to take a look at this picture right here. I want you guys to take a look at these two young men that I have on my screen who look like they are first cousins. Wait a minute, what does that say? That's a man and a woman? Hold on, let's back this up for a moment. I thought this was two dudes. Is that a man and a woman? Or am I wrong? Well, I guess that individual's name is Monica Adams on the right-hand side. That looks like two dudes. Does it not? Am I making this up, or does that not look like two first cousins? I'm sorry, but that don't look like a man and a woman, and I'm sorry, but they look slow in the face. They look slower than a cold bottle of molasses. I'm sorry, they just do. It's my personal opinion, but if you hear what it is that they got jail time for, then maybe you won't feel so bad about the fact that I'm calling them names, okay? Now, his name is Hezile. Hezile? I think that's Hezile. Hezile? Hezile. I'm gonna say Hezile. Hezile. I've never heard of a name like that. Frison is his last name, and he has been sentenced to 2.5 years. 2.5 years. 2.5 years. 30 months in prison after his baby daughter was left to die in a field. Hezile Frison is 37 years old, and he was charged over the disappearance of his 2-month-old daughter. And let me see if I can get her face up on the screen so you guys could take a look at this baby. Right here. Look at that. Look at that. That little baby is 2-month-old Jalissa Adams-Frison. Do y'all see how small this baby is? This baby was so young and it was so early in her life that the majority of the pictures that they have of this baby are with her eyes closed while she's napping, after taking a bath or after being fed. The majority of her pictures are with her eyes closed. 2-month-old Jalissa Adams-Frison. Now, the little girl's mother, by the name of Monica Adams, who is apparently that individual over there on the right-hand side of the screen who looks like it's this man's little brother, 22 years old, was sentenced to 4 years of probation last month. Or excuse me, 2 months ago. She got 4 years probation on September the 11th, with the judge taking into account the 18 months she had been held in custody when sparing her more, or when, sparing her more time behind bars. Sparing her more time behind bars. Both Frison and Adams pled guilty. I'm going to repeat that. Both of them pled guilty to hiding their daughter's August 2019 death and disposing of a body in the field. Kenosha, Wisconsin. Is that where this place is? Is there anybody from a place called Wisconsin? Are y'all familiar with this place, Kenosha? Are y'all familiar with that? I'm not super familiar with Kenosha, but I'm going to tell you guys this. Something's got to be wrong with their judicial system there. Kenosha, Wisconsin gave this man 2 years in prison, and the mom got 4 years probation. Between the two of them, a death of their child occurred. Even if you take both of their sentences and put them together and multiply it by 4, that still doesn't give them very much time in prison at all. Can y'all understand where I'm coming from? Take both of their sentences, add them together, and multiply it by 4. And you still don't get nearly enough time in prison. But let me finish telling you guys the rest of the story before I give y'all more of my opinion, okay? Let's keep going. It remains unclear how Jalissa died, and her body has never been found. Only a bag which appeared to have been ripped open by animals. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Wow. Jalissa's death came to light when a relative who had allowed Frison and Adams to live in her home reported the baby missing to police. This sounds like another, what's my baby girl's name out of Houston, Texas? Malia Davis. Wow. The relative stated that Frison and Adams did not have an emotional connection with that child. In July of 2019, Frison's sister, Sparkle Diggins, who looked after the little girl, woke up to find that Frison and Adams had taken the child. When they got back home, she said that the couple were argumentative when they asked where she was. Later, Frison became emotional and admitted to knowing where the girl's body was. Adams, the complaint states, told authorities multiple stories as to how the child died, including saying that she had died in her cot. Frison told investigators where the body was. Prior to the baby's disappearance, he searched for topics such as what type of animals are found in Kenosha, and what is the only way a parent cannot go to jail if a baby dies. Just hearing that turns my stomach. They Google searched this stuff. The fact that they admitted to putting this baby out there in that field, and I think the only thing that prevented them from getting a harsher sentence was the fact that they didn't actually acquire a body. It seemed like the animals got a hold of the body and just did what animals do. And I don't care whether there's a body or not. The fact that you know that this baby is dead, you know that the baby is dead. Matter of fact, how about this? Even if you can't find the body of a baby, especially a baby in a situation like this that can't speak for itself, cannot defend itself, was at the complete and utter mercy of the parents. If you know that that's the case, then why can't you just get life in prison until they find the body? Or if they find out 5 years later that they just sold the baby and the baby is alive and well, then maybe you can adjust the sentence then. But I think that they need to get life in prison. Let me tell you guys why I have the hashtag TTO and TTT. Somebody please in the chat, if you're familiar with our channel, please tell them what that means. Can somebody who's an AFC member please tell them what TTO and TTT means in the chat? Tell them what those hashtags mean. Because let me point something out about these two individuals. With her getting 4 years of probation? And the mom is, let me see how old she is again, 22 years old. Don't y'all think that Monica Adams could just turn around and have another kid? How many of y'all thought about that while I told this story? She can literally just go have another kid. Him being in jail for 2 years, she literally has time to actually wait on her thug-ass boyfriend to get out of jail to have another kid with him. Are y'all hearing me? Matter of fact, with her being 22 years old and with her only getting what amounts to a slap on the wrist, do y'all think that she is scared at all about having another kid? How many of y'all believe that in the next 24 months, she's going to be pregnant with another kid? How does this happen? Wisconsin, how do y'all F this up that bad? Is anybody else upset besides me? Or maybe I'm just an asshole. I don't know. But let me give you guys the fair usage and let me show you guys the news video. And y'all tell me what you think. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, and if you guys are watching, please click the thumbs up. I'm going to try to play you guys a couple of news videos. I'm having a little difficulty keeping them up here. Let me try to see if I can bring them in again. Let's see what happens. 22 years old. She's going to be right back to having kids. Probably already pregnant right now, but I digress. Let's get it.
Death of a 2-month-old little girl from Kenosha. The girl went missing in July. Her body has still not been found. Evan Peterson with the cryptic searches investigators say they found on the suspect's cell phone.
One day they left with the baby.
A person who wished not to be identified said these two, 36-year-old Jalissa Adams-Frison and 21-year-old Monica Adams, went for a walk with their baby, 2-month-old Jalissa Adams-Frison, when a few hours later returned,
came back with no baby.
According to a detailed criminal complaint, that's when stories about where the little girl went began.
To our knowledge, the baby was with other family members, so we didn't question it. But as time went on, then, we began to grow suspicious.
They told family members and friends she was with Monica's mother. However, when reports were filed with police, investigators found out that her parents were never given Jalissa. After the two were arrested by police, warrants were obtained for their cell phones. Investigators found searches on Frison's phone, like, what is the only way a parent cannot go to jail if a baby dies?
Do y'all hear that they Google searched this? There is evidence that shows that they Google searched this. Keep in mind, Dad only got 2 years and Mom got 4 years probation. One got 2 years in prison, one got 4 years of probation. Between the two of them, this baby is dead and nobody's doing over 24 months in prison. I just don't know how does that happen?
Eventually, Frison told police where they dumped the baby's body. Officials located the bag the little girl was left in at a field at 50th Street and 52nd Avenue. Her remains were missing, but but authorities say it's enough evidence to charge the two. Each faces multiple charges, including failure to report the death of a child and concealing the death of a child. At this time, it's not clear how this 2-month-old may have died. Police aren't able to say for certain until her body is found. Frison is expected to make his initial appearance tomorrow, and Adams is to be arraigned later this month. Ben?
Disturbing charges. Evan, thank you.
Again, I'm going to say this. I think, in my personal opinion, that Wisconsin, Kenosha, failed. This is actually a situation where I've talked about how your local elections can affect you more than your president can. This is a situation where whatever laws and whatever judges that they have running these types of courts and running these situations made a judgment on this and decided that I guess the most that they could do underneath the law or in their judgment was to give this father 2 years in prison, to give this mother 4 years of probation. And if we really believe in equality in our society, why not just give them both the same thing? They were both complicit. Why not give them both 2 years in prison? Why don't they get the same exact sentence? If you could even call it that. Because 24 months in prison for murdering your kid is not justice. That's not even a sentence. That's not even enough time for you to reflect on what you did at all. And I'm going to tell y'all, the scary thing about the individual that you see right there on my screen is the fact that that individual, her, if you could even call that a her, is 22 years old. She's young enough and probably dumb enough to not give a crap and turn around and go get pregnant either by the next man, find her the next thug to lay up under and make another baby by, or she might actually have time to get out of to wait for her man to get out of jail. 2 years, 24 months. 24 months, wait for him to get out of jail. They can make another baby and do this all over again. To me, when you have proven that you do not make sound decisions, you're not a law-abiding citizen, and you present a danger to your children, to me, I don't think you have a place in this society. I don't think you have a place in this world. I don't think you deserve the air that's in your body. To these parents who did that little baby like that, look at this little baby, man. I'm going to take a step back, and I want y'all to take a look. This beautiful baby. This beautiful baby could not speak for herself, nor could she defend herself. Baby Jalissa was so small, she was so young, at 2 months old, that all she was doing at this point was eating and sleeping. Beautiful baby girl, and these fools didn't even give her a chance to grow up and do anything at all. And they're going to be able to get out and do it all over again. And I just don't understand how Wisconsin, how Kenosha allows that to happen. Y'all need to start standing up, and that's actually when you need to start speaking up and saying something. Y'all need to be down there protesting, but you know what? I guess unless it's a police officer killing another black man, I guess it ain't nothing to protest about, huh? Just my 2 cents. It's your boy DJ Just J. We're the AFC, where we're going to continue to speak for these babies. We're going to advocate for our children first. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, please.